instead of playing the open A at the end, you play the A, but you just play it an octave higher. Sounds cool. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it fits over the whole bar.
I have my licks, in the blues of A, like the Cold Stormy Monday, I always play an A. But there's always the same licks, and now I have learned all of a sudden a lot of new tricks and licks. So this is a very good
awesome.
Lesson. Thank you.
I'm calling them licks. I mean, they're just ways to play this scale, and hopefully if you learn this, then you'll be able to noodle around and come up with your own sounds and your own bends and patterns, which is what it's all about. We've got Ron. Do you want to play this song anyway? We're going to look at Ron's...
Yeah, okay. I will.
Play it through and then break it down.
Just as a sort of bit of an introduction, I'm well aware of my own shortcomings, and what I want to do with this, and I think Chris has put the message on, is I want to be able to do this like blues shuffle and to be able to play a solo, if you like. And the idea of this song, I mean, there's 4 verses here, and the 2 middle verses start off with the same line, which I don't think sounds very good, but I think it would sound okay with a solo in between. So I'm hoping to get that tonight from this lesson. But anyway, here we go. Like a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. Like a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. You move so quickly, baby, really don't know what to do. Like a 3-legged cat.
All right, I'm sure everyone's applauding, but we're all muted. So yeah, nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
That's what my audiences are always like, actually, Chris.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, lovely. It's a good tune, and it reminds me it's like a Jimmy Reed and a bit like Dylan-y as well in a way,
Yeah, okay.
The rhythm style. That's simple.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to Jimmy Reed?
Jimmy? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've loved Jimmy Reed since I was young.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to learn harmonica now as well, so I'd love to be able to do that at the same time. But anyway.
What was interesting about Jimmy Reed was he played electric, but on his own. So he played an electric guitar and a harmonica just on his own.
But I bottled a bit there because normally as I'm doing that shuffle, I'm trying to fit that in as well. But that's the kind of thing I want to be able to do, and hopefully, for everyone else as well.
I'll spotlight myself if that's okay, Ron. And
I'm absolutely fine to take a back seat now.
So, yeah, it's a kind of a 12-bar blues in A, and we're just going to look at the 12-bar blues in A to start with. Ron was using a pick. So, actually, I'm not going to use a pick for this lesson. You can if you want, if you prefer, but I know some people are fingerstyle players. And some of the licks I've worked out, they work fine both with a pick and without, but for some reason I'm tending to go towards without a pick. So it's up to you, Ron, whether you use a pick or not. A shuffle in A, it's the same as the shuffle in E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The same kind of idea. You get your second finger and stick it on the D string, 2nd fret. And your third finger's going on and off of the 4th fret of the D string, like that. And if you use your thumb and your first finger to pick the open A and the 2nd fret of the D. I'm saying I'm doing this finger style. If I was playing in a rowdy place, I'd probably use a pick to get more power and attack. But because I'm sitting at home with microphones and stuff, it's nice. I can kind of relax a bit with it. So we're just going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like that. We're just pinching. It's that kind of pinch idea. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 3 and 4. If this is a dawdle for you, don't worry. I'm gonna try and add some nice stuff to it as the lesson goes on. But I just want to include everyone. So that's what we do on the A. On the D, we do the same thing, almost the same thing, except we move our thumb down to the D string, second finger's going onto the G string, 2nd fret. And that's a D. Sometimes, as well, my second finger will naturally be on that 3rd fret of the B, kind of making the bottom of a D chord as well. So if I choose to, at a later point, add that note as well, it kind of gives you more range if you want, or you could even strum through like that. So that's what you can do on the D. You can either play it like that, standard style without the second finger. It sounds great. But because we're playing solo acoustic, it's sometimes nice to have more than 2 notes going at once. 3 notes, for example, a chord. Like that. If you notice, actually, my first finger can hold down the entire D, like barring the top 3 strings at the 2nd fret. If you can get that stretched together, then you can introduce the whole D chord under that kind of rhythm too. What I did there is I played the shuffle like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. On the 1 I'm picking the top 3 strings. And then for the rest of the bar I'm just concentrating on the 2 that are doing the shuffle. If you're using a pick, you'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. That can add some nice kind of dynamics to a tune like this and add a bit more to back up the voice or the harmonica or whatever's going on. Another nice thing you can do if on D in a simple way is you could take the D comes in on the 5th bar and then the 6th bar as well, so you've got 2 bars of D. You could play the first bar like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's a bit more of a advanced move in a way. You've got to have some real good dexterity, but you're going from the D shape. If you notice now, actually, I'm not even barring the D, I'm just playing a normal D and going on and off. That's another way to do it as well. So you go 3-legged dog, and then I'll slide up. So bar 5, or technically that bar, you play a D like that. You'd pick it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you kind of play the D, 1, 1 and 2. So you play a full D7. Then you pinch the D string and the G string for the and, 1 and. Then you've got to get up there, 2 and 3 and 4. There's a few things you can do on a D, staying down in that open position. Like 3-legged dog. You could do the same thing on the A, just by playing the whole A chord. And here it's definitely worth barring it. barring an A by playing the 2nd fret of the D, the G and the B, and picking that open A string, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That kind of can lift the tune. You don't have to do it, but it can add something. If I was doing a solo arrangement on this and recording it or playing it at a gig, I'd probably start out like that, just the simple, I'm a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. Just really simple, no fills. I'm a 3-legged dog. We're going to go back down to the A. Keep up with you. Sorry if I'm singing the wrong melody, right? You move so quickly, baby, I don't know what to do. Okay, so obviously we go to the E on the 9th bar, and again all we're going to do is the same pattern. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'll just loop that for a bit. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So that's bar 9. Bar 10 we go back to D. And then bar 11 and bar 12, what Ron has done is the classic no B7, no 5 chord on the 12th bar. He's just stayed on the A, which works great. So bar 11 and bar 12 are A. There's not really a turnaround, which is done a lot in blues. It's quite cool in a way. It's just like we don't even need to do that chord. You know, we can just stay on the A. It's so solid and driving anyway. So I'll play through the song and just play along with me. We'll just play through the first verse. So 1, 2, 3. I'm a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. 3, 2, 3, 4. Bar 4. I'm gonna go up to bar 5 to D. I'm a 3-legged dog, I'm trying to keep up with you. Move so quickly, baby, I don't know what to do. Okay, nice. Sorry I missed off the 12th bar there, which would have just been more A. I'll talk a bit more about other things you can do. In fact, we'll play it through one more time, and this time I'm going to add in those foot chords on beat 1. Like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. Played an A7 there. I'm a 3-legged dog, trying to keep up with you. Move so quickly, baby, I don't know what to do. Okay, so there's something else that's really useful, and it's a kind of shuffle. The blues shuffle. You've got that and, which is really syncopated. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. That and, if you can hear that and when it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, to bring you back to the 1, you can really emphasize that beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and after the 4 and. What you can do in blues in A and blues in E, because the notes work, pretty much they work anyway, is you can play on the and, you can just rake through the open strings like like that. You can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You take your left hand off and back on. If you want to see someone do that really well, there's a video of Stevie Ray Vaughan playing acoustic guitar doing Pride and Joy on YouTube. So Pride and Joy, YouTube, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he does that song on acoustic. It might even be a 12 string, and he's just doing that constantly. It's the shuffle feel. But anyway, yeah, that's that kind of covered. I will archive this if you want to watch any of that back. I'll put it in the video library tonight in the members hangout. But now let's look at the lick. So I've made a few tabs here. The first tab is Ron's lick. And I didn't mean, yeah, it just sounds funny.
I can't claim the credit because I got it from you, Chris.
Really? I can't claim the credit either. It's just it is a real classic. What Ron does, and because of the tab software I use when I do these quick lessons, I can't really add the trill very nicely. But what Ron does most of the time is he goes something like that, which is that classic blues trill. So slowly, that's it, Ron. Yeah, nice. We can hear it. It's a quick on and off. So something like that. All he's doing is going up the minor pentatonic scale and down it, which is basically the first scale you learn if you're going to play the blues. I'll talk about that in a bit more depth in a minute, but first of all, let's learn the lick. So it goes. The way I've written it is 0, and it's a hammer on. I didn't even write the hammer on in, but so you pick 0, hammer on, and then first of all, this isn't exactly the way Ron plays it, but it's one way. You can go 0, 2, off. So it's actually 2 hammer on, a hammer on pull off, then 3rd fret of the A and open, and you can bend that 3rd fret of the A a bit. I don't know who could claim credit to that. Someone probably in a field somewhere in 100 years ago or more in the southern states of America, or probably even somewhere in Africa somewhere before that. Who knows?
Not an upstairs room in Shrewsbury then.
It wasn't any of us lot. But it's the blues, and that's the great thing about it. It's simple, but if you make your own song, then it can sound unique, and it can be your own, you know. So that's the great thing about the blues. So what Ron does is the trill. So once you've got that lick down, try just the technical term is wiggling your finger on and off as fast as you can. But or a trill, I guess, is how it would be written on a piece of paper, you know. Like that. I think you might maybe do it twice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ron's doing it twice. Like that, so really slowly. So if you're playing fingerstyle, when you hit that A string at the end of the lick, you're back into the shuffle. Let's just loop that for a bit. It's important to get that lick right, you know, which is the double tap, which is the way Ron plays it, because if you want to play it the way it was written, then you've got to do that. So, which is so sorry, when I wrote Ron's lick out, I should have done the on-off thing, but I've just did a single hammer-on pull-off instead. So that's Ron's lick, and if you know the minor pentatonic scale in A, if someone said to me, play the A minor pentatonic scale, I'd go, which is the minor pentatonic shape, starting with the root note as an A. So those notes are 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay? And the reason I wanted to show you that and just play that through once was to show that what all he's doing is he's playing that the first 4 notes of the minor pentatonic and down. It's a very simple lick. Okay, simple but effective. So I've come up with a variation, and I've titled it Variation 1, which I thought was a good name for this variation. And what I've decided to do is, instead of playing that note, which is a 5 or an E, I've decided to play the flat 5, also known as the blue note in the blues scale. So the minor pentatonic scale goes 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the blues note, the blues scale has just one extra note, and that comes in there. So instead of doing the trill on the 5, which is the way Ron seems to play it most of the time, although he did vary it a bit throughout the song, just try that. Okay. So that's changing the whole vibe of the song and changing the cliche lick. So I'm showing you this to add it in as for maybe a solo, or for ideas for soloing, or just variations. If I was going to play this song live, having heard the original, which Ron uploaded to the forum, I'd stick to his lick most of the time, and then maybe throw that in a little bit, because otherwise it just becomes a standard blues guitar part, just jamming the blues, which is great. But if you want to play it using the what's it called, a hook? I guess you could call that a hook. because it's something that repeats constantly and is an important part of the song. So there's variation 1 of that hook. Variation 2, which I love, and I use this one a lot, is instead of playing the open A at the end, you play the A, but you just play it an octave higher. Sounds cool. Again, I do it occasionally, sparingly, because if you do it all the time, it'll change the song. It'll change the arrangement and the hook of the song. But if you do it 2 or 3 times, or dust the song with it occasionally, once in a verse or once every other verse, then the listener's going to go, "Whoa, what's that? That's cool." But you're not changing the arrangement too much. So, as an example, let's try doing. I'll just sing it through actually, and remember where it comes in. I think it comes in on the 3rd bar. So 1, 2, 3. I'm a 3-legged dog trying to keep up with you. Okay, we'll keep going. D. I'm a 3-legged dog trying to keep up with you. You move so quickly, baby, I don't know what to do. Try it here. Okay, and then back into it. So you see, you can mix it up. It's so hard for me as a guitarist, I'll be honest, to not overcomplicate things. And it's not, in this style of music, you don't want to overcomplicate it. I want to play all over the place, but honestly, the great blues players out there, they don't. They keep it cool, and they'll just throw in a little lick like that, and it's so effective. Like less is more, you know. So there's Ron's lick, variation 1 and variation 2. Now the next line, we've got the A minor pentatonic scale and then the A blues scale, but here we're looking at the scales in open position, which is not done so much. Usually when you're playing a blues in A, if it's your turn to have a solo, you're going to go up there, you're going to go to that minor pentatonic shape, or even the A blues scale, which is the same scale. I'll just run through the A blues scale in closed position, which is what I call it. This is A in closed position rather than open position. Closed position, but it's the first position of the minor pentatonic scale. The blues scale, again, it's just got one extra note, so we go 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7. So that's one octave of the blues scale. If we want to carry on up the next octave, we just go, starting from there, the 7th fret of the D string, 7, 5 on the G, 7 on the G, 8 on the G. Notice I'm using a finger per fret, so my pinky's playing that one. 5 on the B, 8 on the B, and then 5 on the B, like the blues scale. Sorry, like the minor pentatonic scale. Here's a nice lick, just going off topic for a brief second. This is a nice lick in A. which is just, you do a pull off on the D string first fret, like that. It's got to be pretty quick. So you pick, and then you pull off with your first finger, as quickly as you can. Then 3rd fret, open, and then the octave, which is the 2nd fret of the D, of the G. 2nd fret of the G is where you end, so. That's a useful lick for a song like this if you're trying to do a solo guitar arrangement, and add in some licks to kind of jam along with it without losing the rhythm, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So let's look back at the A minor pentatonic over 2 octaves. I've just explained where it would be in closed position. In open position, there's your first octave of the minor pentatonic scale in the key of A. Okay, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2. I should really have added that in. If you play the 3rd fret on the bass string, on the E string, and then go back up, that's a nice bluesy thing you can do. Because that's also in the minor pentatonic scale. I noticed Ron was doing that a bit when he was performing it earlier at the start of the lesson. He would occasionally hammer on that 1st fret of the G. He was doing that as well, so to be fair, he was playing that variation.
Quick question, Chris, if I can.
Yeah.
Interject. On the A major pentatonic 2nd octave, we've got A, which is 0-3, D, which is 0-2, and then G 0-2-2. Did I miss something?
Say that again. I have. Oh yeah. No, I'll get to that. I've just it is the scale.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah, I'm just missing.
I haven't got there yet. Yeah, I was about to move on to it.
Okay, sorry.
Well, maybe I'm going too slowly, but I get a little bit into what I'm doing too much. Maybe.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next bit of the scale, which is 2. So there's your A note again. It's just an octave higher. Then we go. That's the 1st fret of the B string, which is the same as going just an octave higher. Oh, sorry. Then we go 3rd fret of the B. Okay, and we're going to play the next 3 notes all on the top E string. So the scale goes. Okay. So one thing you could do is you could just use that scale and try and make up some patterns in that position. By just running down, you could go run down 3 notes and back 1. 5, 3, open. 3, open. 3 on the B. Open. 3, 1. Then. You've got to sit at home and look at the scale and just figure it out on your own. There's no real quick fix. This is a nice one. It's a good way to understand how the scale is put together and changing direction helps when you come to improvising. So if you were going to take a solo and you wanted to do something a bit tricky, then that would work quite nicely whilst staying down low. So it fits over the whole bar. You've just got to slow it right down and practice it. 2. You do a bar of that, then a bar of that. And if you play it super slow, you can do trills. I mean, that wasn't incredibly slow. I mean, you know, really slow. Here we go. The lick. Like that. And again. That's how you've got to practice. And if you practice it, you know, 10 times like that, speed it up a bit, practice it 10 times, speed it up, suddenly, which is more the speed we're at in this tune. So if you want to throw in licks and riffs, you could, that was exactly the same concept, just playing the minor pentatonic. Tricky in a way, and it's quite a hard thing to do. There are other things you can do that are easier, which I'm going to get to shortly. So that's the minor pentatonic. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. What I'm doing there, it wasn't very musical, but all I did was noodle around the first. If you go down the scale from here, there's an immediate lick. So that's the minor pentatonic. We've also got the blues scale, which I'm going to run through now in the key of A. The next licks after this below this are really useful, so don't worry if you're not understanding how you can throw that in. I'll get to some stuff you can actually use straight away. So A blues scale, 2 octaves. We'll look at that. So it's almost identical. Am I still on? Can you see me? Oh good, for some reason the screen just disappeared, but okay. I was worried then. Okay, if you can still see me, great. Okay, so all we're going to do is throw in that first fret of the D, and then here a nice little slide up. Second fret of the G, first of the B, third of the B, slide up with the second finger, the third finger. Because if you slide up, then you're in perfect position to hammer, to get onto that 5th fret of the top E, which is an A. There you go, just
can almost hear a dog barking there, which would be really good, actually, Chris. But if you can do a cat's meow for me as well, it'd be really good.
Is that like a barking dog? You can't really.
Yeah, well, that kind of. Where were
I
we?
see what you mean. Yeah.
But the barking dog only barked 3 times.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to. Yeah.
The cat didn't see him.
I was trying to do something like this, but make a sort of cat noise, but it's too far away from where I want to get back to.
Yeah. I guess in this song, it's the one time you want to sound like a screaming cat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of acceptable. Okay, so what Ron was doing there was actually not in the blues scale or the
Whoops.
or the minor pentatonic. He's throwing in a major note here, which works over a blues in A. What he's doing is picking the 7th fret of the B and the 8th fret of the top E, bending it. And then if you play the 2 top strings of the A chord of the 5th fret after so there are some options there. Now I'm going to move on.
I love that. That's good.
Awesome. Again, it's just a matter of sitting at home, slowly playing it. And if you can play it slow, then you can speed it up. Then it's just practice. If you can't play it slow, then you don't. Then you need to figure out how to play it. Then you've got options using the scale. So, my major pentatonic lick 1. Okay. Now, okay, we're in the key of A. You can see why this is useful, because if we're doing a shuffle, we don't have to move, our arm doesn't have to move, but we can still play some nice bluesy stuff. It's called the major pentatonic scale, but it's used in blues all the time if you're playing a major blues like we are. All we're doing is 2 4 2 4 back. So I forgot again to put in the hammer-ons and pull-offs. It goes 2 hammer-on. So 2 hammer-on, then next string 2 hammer-on pull-off. Like that. So pick the D, I'll start again from the top, D string, you pick it with your thumb or your plectrum, hammer onto the 4th. Next string, you're going to do a hammer on pull off from the 2 to 4, so pick it, just on off, on off, like that, pick on off, quick hammer on pull off. Then you can go back to 4 on the D, and then back to 2 on the G, which is an A. Okay, there's a lovely little bend you can do. The cool thing about these notes, I always used to say, they're really twangy. When you hear someone playing this style, it's really twangy. You gotta, so you can bend it up before you do the pull off. So a nice bend, then a pull off. But nowadays, I tend to find it easier to bend it down. But both are fine, like that. So you pick it, a quick bend, it takes a lot of power in the left hand, and then a pull off. Then 4 2. that note there, when you pick that one, which is the A on the 2nd fret of the G string, you can bend that as well if you've got the power. You can bend it as much as you can before you take your finger off and go back into a shuffle. Sounds nice. And if you take your finger off, it's almost like a pull off. It rolls back nicely to the shuffle. Which happens to be on that 4 and, which is... Or maybe it's 2 and. Either way, it sounds nice. So there's your major pentatonic lick 1. The second lick, I'm calling them licks. I mean, they're just ways to play this scale, and hopefully if you learn this, then you'll be able to noodle around and come up with your own sounds and your own bends and patterns, which is what it's all about. Basically, we're just bending that 4th fret twice, and then we do a pull off. So pick again, bend up, back down, pull off to the 2nd fret. Notice it sounds nice on the genuinely don't know why. Ah, there it is. It sounds great on the D. It also sounds good on the E. I'm going to play through the full 12 bars now, and I'm going to noodle around that little box. It's just a box of four notes. Actually, it's interesting that Ron was playing that note in his lick. It's that note there. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3. A three-legged dog. Going up to the D. 5th bar. 6th bar. We're going to go back down to the A. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to sit down, play the rhythm, go into a lick, play the rhythm into a lick, and sit on your own and just figure out where it works. And if you fumble and make a mistake, as long as you keep the timing, it's fine. It's the blues, it's raw. You're allowed to make mistakes. If you watch the early blues videos, the early blues players, then make mistakes constantly, and it's not about perfection, it's about attitude, you know, it's about making it sound mean and good, and just playing it with confidence, I guess, is what you want to do. Just be confident, and the way you get confident is just practicing on your own and knowing what to do, which the way it works for me is just very slowly. Okay, there was another little riff I was doing before we go on to the last two little ideas, which is actually just what I've been playing. I just wanted to talk about this riff, this lick that you can do to get you up to there. doing is I'm sliding from the 4th fret of the G to the 6th fret of the G. And then when I do that, my 2nd finger's right in the perfect place to play the 5th fret of the B. Like that. What I did there is I played an E because it was beat 1 of the 9th bar. I think it goes to E. So I know that that note's going to sound nice, and it's out of the scale, but it's in an E chord, so it sounded great. Okay. Last of all, we've got the 2 licks at the bottom, and all they are, I just tabbed out exactly what to play and the shuffle notes, so you can play, so you know exactly what I'm doing. We've got that major pentatonic lick 2, like that. So if you play the lick slowly. That's the lick. It's dead easy. It's 3 different notes. 4th fret of the G, bend back, down, 2nd fret of the G, 4th fret of the D, and then back to the 2nd fret of the G. What you want to do straight after that lick is play the E string. Sorry, the A string with your thumb. Okay. And then, obviously, what's coming next is the shuffle, and it kicks in on the. It kicks in here on the 4. So. What I've done for the final lick on the page is that's major pentatonic. If you want to do a similar lick in the minor pentatonic, I just pick these notes. So you've got 2 nice options, and if you practice it, it would sound great as a solo. Like this. So you move so quickly, baby, don't know what to do. So we'll do that lick. Here we go. We go up to the D. So you get the idea. That's basically it. You've just got to sit down and work out each bar, where the lick goes, and where everything works. So that's basically the lesson, I think. For now, I mean, we could go on for ages.
I have my licks, in the blues of A, the chord Stormy Monday. I always played an A, but there's always the same licks, and now I have learned all of a sudden a lot of new tricks.